Hi everyone, this is Laura Doyle. Welcome back to Still Spunky. In the last episode, I explained to you a little bit about me and my family and all the grief and trauma that we have gone through in the past about 5 years. Now, that doesn't tell you everything about me, of course. There are other things, good and bad and indifferent, that have happened through my life. But the biggest thing is the grief and trauma that we've had to go through in the past 5 years. Now, I would love to know a little bit more about you guys. I'd love if you could shoot me an email. My email address is on the website and on YouTube. And tell me, your worst experience or your best experience or even your funniest experience through grief and trauma. Now, I know a lot of people think funniest. Well, yeah, absolutely. When I was going through everything, I had a lot of family and friends around me. Thank God. Really, I do appreciate everything that they've done for me. It's amazing. But a lot of times I was in a funk. I was sad, and either I got a hug from one of my best friends or I got a joke. And a lot of them may be very inappropriate, so I'm not going to say them on here. But my husband was very inappropriate with some of his jokes, but he was a big smartass. Hence, I am too, after all the years that I've spent with my husband. And of course, we raised our children with morals and values, but also to be smartasses. Now, I'm bringing this up because a lot of times people don't know how to go through grief and trauma. There are so many ways, and everybody's going to go their own path through all of this. You can't all be the same. Nobody is going to go through this grief and trauma in the same way. It's impossible. But one of the very good ways, I think, is through laughter. Through laughter when your friends or family come to you and just give you a little smart-ass joke. Inappropriate or not, hey, a lot of times it's funny and you're sitting there so upset and you're almost crying, and then you start laughing. You start laughing so hard because your body needs that laughter, and you've been in this grief and trauma for so long that it's almost you feeling like it's impossible to get out of it. And trust me, it takes a lot of time. I'm still going through it. It's not like I'm out of, over the rainbow and out of the woods yet. I'll be going through this for the rest of my life, having to deal with losing my husband or my leg, or, making sure my daughter who's disabled is okay. There will be no day that I don't think of all of those issues. But if I'm having a really bad day, and let's say my son comes upstairs and he just, out of the blue, does this crazy dance in front of me. And I have to tell you, he does this often. And every time it makes me laugh. Even when I was so sad, it just made me laugh, and it made those tears of sadness turn into tears of laughter. Now, every day can't be like that, of course. A lot of times we're going to be sad and we're not going to want to laugh. We're just going to want to cry. And that's absolutely okay. Everybody goes through this grief. Everybody goes through it differently. There is not one way, one path, one direction to go down when you're going through this. Everybody goes through it differently. Now, for me, example, I lost my leg, right? And it's hard. It is. It's very, very difficult. It's difficult for some of the things that people say, do, some of the things I can't do. These are all hard things. But that wasn't as hard for me as losing my husband, of course. So that was secondary, and I was able to push by that a lot through laughter. I can't imagine how many times I've said to my kids, in a joking manner, of course, I swear I'm going to take this leg off and beat you with it. Because why not laugh about it? Why not make a joke? I may not feel that way every day, but when I do, I try my best to make sure that I laugh every day. Before all this tragedy that we've had, in my family at least, I always looked on the bright side. I always was happy-go-lucky person. I try to find the best in people, and I always try to influence people to be happy and find that way to be happy, even in situations when it is hard. Now, most of the time, when people are sad on a daily basis, it's not because of grief or trauma. It's because they're having a bad day. Maybe they spilled something that morning and it was a tragedy trying to clean it up for them. At least they're thinking that, right? And it's really not that bad. But, however, that does make your day horrible, right? Our grief through all these things, you have to try to backtrack yourself sometimes and see a simpler way for you that day. Maybe you're really, really sad and you just want to be happy, right? But sometimes it's impossible. And that's okay. You take that day and just cry as much as you can and hope that the next morning you'll wake up and it's just a little tiny bit better. It's not going to be better, just a little bit better. And maybe the next day when you wake up, you're going to say to yourself, oh, well, I want to laugh a little bit today. I know, because people don't think of these things when you're not going through this grief and trauma, that people who are going through grief and trauma, they think about these things constantly. I do. I think about how I'm going to walk, how I'm going to go downstairs, how I'm going to, live this life without my husband when I've had all these years with him. All these things go in my head all the time, all day long. So some days I just want to take a break. I just want to sit down and watch something silly on TV or call a friend and just laugh a little bit, because you deserve that too. And when we go through grief and trauma, a lot of times we think, well, we don't deserve to be happy because our spouse has died and we're left and they're not here. And that's hard. That's hard. And you're going to have days like that. But I want you to all try to get past that, just for that day, just for that hour, that 10 minutes, that moment. See if you can try to laugh just a little bit, even if it's a corny joke. Try to find something, even on a video. The best things are pets and little kids. I'll tell you, they make you laugh every time. Sometimes you need to look those up and just laugh a little bit, because it will make you feel better. It's not going to make you feel all better, but it's going to make you feel a little better. And I know this is not for every day, but just try a little bit. Just a little bit. So if you guys can send me emails on maybe something that was the worst day that you really want to talk about, or maybe share with other people who can help also because they've gone through the same thing, I would love that. And if you have a good day or even a funny day, I want you to send those over to me too, because I would love to share them. And don't worry, I will never give any personal information out if you don't want to. So it can only be a situation that I talk about, and that's fine too. So guys, I really hope you meet me next time here and see what we have in store. I can't wait for next time, and have a great day.